show's recurring character, Backney Guy. And the year before that, the head writer, Elliot Markovitz, 5'8", 40, and my top-cider-wearing boss, had married a multi-platinum album-selling pop singer named Nicola Dornan, 5'10", 30, and a special envoy for the UN. And this, of course, was the essence of my fury. That such couples would never exist with the genders switched. That a gorgeous male celebrity would never fall in love with an ordinary, dorky, unkempt woman. Never. No matter how clever she was. But I also knew, as I lay in bed glaring at the screen of my phone, Danny and Annabelle's debut as a couple had occurred the night before in the form of making out at the club where Annabelle's 24th birthday party had been held, that I would write about my fury. Just as I always did, I'd turn my feelings into comedy. And that was how I'd cure myself. Chapter 1. April 2018. Weekly schedule for the Night Owls. Monday, 1 p.m. Pitch meeting with guest host. Tuesday, 5 p.m. Start of all-night writing session. Wednesday, 12 p.m. Deadline for submitted sketches. Wednesday, 3 p.m. Table read of submitted sketches. Wednesday, 9 p.m. Preliminary show lineup posted internally. Wednesday night through Saturday morning, rehearsals, scripts revised, sets built, special effects designed, hair, makeup, and costumes chosen and created, pre-tapes shot. Saturday 1 p.m., run-through of show. Saturday 8 p.m., dress rehearsal before a live audience. Saturday 11:30 p.m., live show before a new audience. Sunday 1:30 a.m., first after party. Monday, 1:10 p.m. For the meeting that marked the official start of that week's show, I planned to pitch 2 sketches. But I had 3 ideas. You could write and submit more, but pitch only 2. So I'd play by ear which ones I went with, depending on how the guest host reacted to the pitches preceding mine. About 40 writers, cast members, and producers were crammed into the 17th floor office of the show's creator and executive director, Nigel Peterson. Nigel's 17th floor office, not to be confused with his office on the 8th floor, adjacent to the studio where the show was filmed, was both well-appointed and never intended as a meeting place for anywhere close to 40 people. This meant that Nigel sat behind his desk, the host sat in a leather armchair, a few lucky staffers nabbed a place on the sole couch, and everyone else leaned against the wall or sat on the floor. Nigel started by introducing the host, who, as happened about once per season, was also that week's musical guest. Noah Brewster had twice in the past been the musical guest, but this was his first time hosting. He was a cheesily handsome, extremely successful singer-songwriter who specialized in cloying pop music and was known for dating models in their early 20s. Though he looked like a surfer, piercing blue eyes, shaggy blonde hair and stubble, a big toothy grin and a jacked body, I'd learned by reading the host bio we were emailed each Monday morning that he'd grown up in a suburb of Washington, D.C. He was 36, the same age I was, and had been famous ever since releasing the hit Making Love in July, more than 15 years before when I was in college. Making Love in July was a paean to respectfully taking the virginity of a long-haired girl with glowy skin, a pouty mouth, and raspberry nipples. And it was one of those songs that had for a year played so often on the radio that, in spite of finding it execrable, I accidentally knew all the words. In the time since then, Noah Brewster had won many awards and sold more than 20 million albums, a figure I also had learned from his host bio. It was not a coincidence that his 10th album was being released the following week. Hosts, musical guests, and the combinations therein were usually either celebrating newfound fame or promoting imminent work. After Nigel introduced him, Noah Brewster looked around the room and said, "Thanks for letting a musician crash the comedy party. Hosting TNO has been a lifelong dream, ever since I was a middle school misfit sneaking down to the basement to watch after my parents went to bed." He smiled his big smile at us, and I wondered if his teeth were real or veneers. After 9 years at TNO, I was as accustomed as one could be.